All right, Bahamas. I'm on my job today. Today, I'm on my job. We gotta go to work today. Bahamas, what's going on? It's like they trying to kill us. This one, I'm doing for everybody that's going through something. It's an important day today. Today is Easter Sunday, so the best gotta come out of me today. The very best. But before I even can get into the topic of discussion, what's going on, Bahamas? I'm talking for everybody right now who's going through something. Because what did Jesus say? Jesus said it will be wars and rumors of wars. He said there will be pestilence in various places. He talked about all of that. So first you had the pestilence with COVID. Now you got the war and the rumors of wars driving up prices. Bahamas, what's going on? It's like the whole world going Christian. Everybody doing exactly what Jesus said. I'm convinced the whole world just going to Christianity. Because every single thing Jesus said, the wars, the rumors of wars, the pestilence, everything is coming to fruition. And people hurting. Bahamas. Today, I'm doing it for everybody who's going through something. Because here's the thing. I could talk about Easter all day. But it's hard for you to celebrate Easter. And I understand. It's hard for a lot of people to celebrate Easter if they can't put food on the table. It's crazy. Gas prices, the price of lumber, the price of food, they're killing us. I gotta go to work today. So watch this. Bahamas, I'm on my job today. I'm doing this one for everybody who eating chicken today. That's the other white meat. So for everyone who not eating fish today and they have to eat chicken, I'm doing it for you. That's what I'm doing this one for. That's how hard it is. It's rough. I gotta do it for the streets. I gotta keep my ears to the streets. So I'm doing this one for you. So, we're on the fourth commandment. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. But this one I gotta take back to the cross. I'm serious. I gotta go back to the cross on this one. I'm doing this one for Easter. I'm doing this one for everyone that's going through something. I'm doing this one for everyone eating chicken today. Ain't no fish today. You can't afford fish. You can barely afford to live. All right, let's go to work. Let's say a prayer, then we're going to work today. I'm on my job today, Bahamas. I got to do this one for you. So God, pray you and bless us. God is protect us. And help us in all things to Heavenly Father. To remember that this too shall pass. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. All right. So let's talk about the fourth commandment. So what's the fourth commandment? Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. And I'm taking this one back to the cross. But let me warm you up first. Let's just talk about the fourth commandment. So what did Jesus say? Jesus said, you have to be born again in order to enter into heaven. And what did the Pharisee say? The Pharisee told him, how is it possible for someone to be born again? How is it possible for someone to go back into their mother's womb? And Jesus said, you call yourself a teacher of the law, and you asking me how you go back in your mother's womb because I told you have to be born again? And Jesus said you have to be born again in spirit and in truth. So let's talk about the Sabbath day. You call yourself a teacher of the law and you arguing whether the day is a Saturday or a Sunday? Bahamas, that don't even make sense. See, I'm going to work today, but I can bring this one back to the cross. But I got to warm you up first. So for the 7th-day Adventist, cut your TV off now. I'm sorry, I can't do this one for you. I'm doing this for everyone eating chicken today. So if you're a 7th-day Adventist, I ain't doing this one for you because you can get mad at me off the top. Jesus could care less whether the Sabbath day is a Saturday or a Sunday. That has nothing to do with the Sabbath day. If Jesus told you, now listen to me, Bahamas. If Jesus told you, one day is like 1,000 years to me, then how is it possible for you to come and tell Jesus that the Sabbath day is on a Saturday? That don't even make no sense. Jesus say one day is like 1,000 years. But you want to tell Jesus or you want to tell somebody it's a sin because they celebrate the Sabbath day on a Saturday listen to me. That don't make no sense. So, like I said, blind lead us to the blind. We can clear all this confusion up today. But I'm doing this for everybody who have to eat chicken because the prices of everything too high. So let's go to work. We can explain exactly what the Sabbath day is. We can explain everything what Jesus was trying to tell you when he spoke about the Sabbath day. because that's what we need right now in these times that we're living in. So let's go to work. So listen to this passage. And we're in Exodus chapter 20. So first I'm going to explain exactly what the Sabbath day is, why people don't celebrate the Sabbath day, and we can take all this back to the cross, because we're doing this one for God today. It's Easter today, and I'm doing it for all the people who's finding it hard to celebrate because they can't put food on the table. I feel for you all. Let's go to work. And we're in Exodus chapter 20, and listen to this. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in it, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore, the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So, the first thing is, look at what it says. Remember the Sabbath day. What did God want you to remember? Look at what God said. Because everybody who's going through something, this is what I need you to remember. God said, for in 6 days, the Lord made heaven and he made earth. He made the sea. So that's seeing fish that you can't eat because you can't afford it. God is saying, I made heaven and I made earth. That means I made all that available to you. The earth is not your home, but the fruits thereof I've made accessible to you. I've done all of that for you. God said, I worked for 6 days to bless you with everything in this life and in the next, with heaven and with earth. And then on the seventh day, I rested. So the Sabbath day is a day of rest. So why could God rest? God could rest because he said, remember everything I did. I did everything in my power to make your life better. And so now I can rest. So let's go to work. So let's go a little deeper with that one. So if the Sabbath day is a day of rest, I have a question for you. How is it possible? And I'm talking to the men now. How is it possible for you to rest if on this big Easter Sunday, you eating two meat? You know some people that have two meat? You eating two meat. So you get fish and you get chicken. But you get an outside child or you get family members who can't put food on the table. How is it you're going to rest? Because see, this one is deeper. So what's the Sabbath day? The Sabbath day is the day of rest. It ain't got nothing to do with Saturday. It ain't got nothing to do with Sunday. God said, I could rest. The reason why I could rest on the seventh day is because I did everything for you all from day 1 to day 6. And now that I know I've done my part, I can rest. See, I'm going to work today. So for everyone that's going through something, let me talk to the men. For all the men out there who are unemployed, and they do their best to put food on the table. And it may not be adequate. It may not be up to your wife's standards. It may not be up to your children's standards because they're saying, Daddy, I'm still hungry. But you did your best. Once you've done your best, you can rest. Why? Because that's what the Sabbath day is. See, I'm going to work today. I tell you, I'm on my job today. So what is the Sabbath day? The Sabbath day is a day of rest. So you can't be a preacher. You get people in your congregation who are hungry. And you talking about you celebrating the Sabbath day. Because it's on a Sunday or a Saturday, that's a joke. You celebrate the Sabbath day. It's any day when you can rest. When you say, you know what? I've done my best. I've done my best before God and before man. So my soul and my conscience is at peace. Let me go to work. It's impossible for that. All right, so let me explain this to you. Let's go a little deeper. I got to go deeper with this one for you. Here it is. Let's say you have a child that you don't speak to. If it takes you 7 years, not 7 days. If it takes you 7 years to speak to that child, on that day on which you speak to that child 7 years later, that's the Sabbath day. Why? Because God told you, leave your gift here at the altar and go. First be reconciled to your brother and then come and offer your gift. So it's impossible for you to be celebrating the Sabbath day every single Sunday and every single Saturday if you get a child that you don't speak to. Come on, I'm going to work today. I'm in my bag today. I'm going deep today. Come on, I'm in my bag. I got to go deep today because people are going through something. So that's what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to tell you is the Sabbath day is a day of rest. Now let's continue on. So remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. So what exactly does God mean when he said, keep the Sabbath day holy? What God meant is this. Now follow me. What God meant is the holiest day on the church's calendar is Good Friday. So God said, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy, because that's the holiest day in the calendar. That's the Sabbath day. So the holiest day in the church's calendar is Good Friday. Why? Because God went on that cross. I told you I was bringing it back to the cross. Because God went on that cross and he died for you. He laid his body to rest. Why did God lay his body to rest on Good Friday, the holiest day in the church calendar? For one reason. Because what God understood is for me to save mine. For me to do it for you, I have to give my all. And once I've given my all, I can put everything to rest. I can rest on that day. So Good Friday was the Sabbath for God. So God said, you know what? On Good Friday, I'm celebrating the Sabbath. Not on a Saturday, not on a Sunday. God said on a Friday, I'm celebrating it on a Friday. I'm going to sacrifice myself. I am going to rest. Remember now, the Sabbath is a day of rest. He said, I'm going to rest. He laid himself to rest because he did everything in his power, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm trying to tell you is this. This is my question to you, Bahamas. If the world has broken you, if you lost your faith to get a job, if you lost your hope to start a business, if you have lost the confidence to go out there and succeed and feed your family, then how are you going to rest? You can't, especially if you're a man. Somebody can talk to the bench sometimes. Then how are you going to rest? I'm not saying you drive yourself crazy. What I'm saying is you do your best. You go to God, you do your best before God and before man. You don't care what nobody else got to say. And as long as you know you've done your best, then there's nothing anybody can say to you. Nobody can judge you. And that is what the Sabbath is. That's when you can find rest. As long as I've done my best before God and before man, I've done my best. You know what? Let me bring this one home. I can bring this one home for the women, because I've been talking to the men. Let me bring this one home for the women. If you are a man and you see a woman stranded on the road, car break down, because that's a woman's worst fear, is to break down on the side of the road, and you just drive by, then on that day, you did not celebrate the Sabbath, because that was the Sabbath day. The day on which you passed the woman on the side of the road. You didn't even bother to push the car on the side of the road. Remember now, you may not be no mechanic. You may not have jumper cables. You may not know nothing about cars. But at the very least, you can stop and say, hey, you want to use my cell phone to call somebody? I got minutes. Or I can help you push this car. On the day on which you could pass a female on the side of the road, car breakdown, it's the day you chose not to celebrate the Sabbath. Why? Because how is it possible for your mind to be at rest knowing you just passed someone in need and didn't help them? See, I'm bringing this one home. And that's what the Sabbath is. And that's what I need y'all to get. So for everyone who's going through something, I need y'all to celebrate the Sabbath. Why? Because what I need y'all to understand is the hardest things may be wars and rumors of wars driving up prices. I need you to understand that as long as you've done your best, as long as you've gone to God and put your best foot forward, and the world is not broken you, you're not living in fear, then you can find that inner peace. You can find that rest. All right, let's go to it. I got a story for you guys now. Now we can get to the story. Now we understand what the Sabbath day is. The Sabbath day is a day of rest. It ain't about Saturday. It ain't about Sunday. That's foolish talk. Don't listen to the ministers. Don't listen to the priests. They don't know any better. They're like the blind leading the blind. The Sabbath day is a day of rest. And to remember the Sabbath day is to remember everything God has done for you. Everything up to this period is what has God done for me. So I gave you heaven, I gave you earth. The earth is not your home. So all these gas prices are going to go away as soon as you're in heaven. You ain't going to worry. You're going to be flying. You ain't going to be worrying about the gas prices. You ain't going to be worrying about food. You're going to get manna. So you good. But what I can need you to do is find that place of rest. And what is that place of rest? As long as it's in your mind, as long as your conscience is clear that I did everything out there, and I ain't sitting down eating two meat, and I get children out there who I don't even talk to. All right, let's go to work. So listen to this story. I got a story for you guys. And we're in Mark chapter 2, verse 22 and verse 3. And it's a really, really good story, and I want you to follow this story. Remember, I got to bring this one back to the cross. This is an important one. Because what we're going to discuss now is why people don't celebrate the Sabbath. Why people out there struggling, why people out there losing their mind. So this one, I got to go deep with this. And I'm on my job today because it's Easter Sunday. So I got to be real clear, real concise. Keep this going. Keep this 100. And I only tell you the truth, Muhammad. So let's go to work. And listen to this. And we're in Mark chapter 2, verse 27. And listen to how this story begins. And Jesus said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. And remember that, because we're going to come back to that one. And chapter 3. And Jesus entered into the synagogue, and there was a man who had a withered hand. So here it was, somebody was hurting. And that's why I chose this story, because somebody was hurting, like a lot of people out there hurting. This man had a withered hand. That means he had a hand that he could do nothing with. You get a lot of young men out there, strong, strapping body. They got 2 hands, 2 feet, fully healthy, but they can't do nothing with it because they don't have work. So I'm talking to all the men out there without jobs. Because see, it hurt men the most. Here's the thing. When a woman doesn't have a job, she's going through something and she doesn't feel less than a woman. But when a man doesn't have a job, or a man doesn't have a business, or a man can't take care of his family, he feels like less than a man. And that's a serious thing that can play with your head. And that's why I talk to the men a lot. There's a big difference between women and men. If a man can't provide, he doesn't feel like a man. If a woman can't provide, well, she feel like a man ain't doing his job. It's as simple as that. She feel like, well, if your pa was here, I wouldn't be going through this. Or my daddy was here, I wouldn't be going through this. It's a difference, a big difference between a man and a woman. Men are quick to lose their identity when they can't be or they can't fulfill their purpose. With a woman, however, a woman looks to a man. So it's a different story. If a woman looks to a man for her identity, then if she doesn't have a job, she can cope better. But when a man can't find, it's a big difference. That's why I talk to the men a lot. So I don't want you to think I'm being sexist, but I understand how men think and how women think. So listen to this. You have a man with a withered hand. So he's going through something. It's like a lot of men in the Bahamas. They're going through something. Because they have 2 perfectly good hands. But guess what? They can't use it for nothing because they don't have nothing to do. They sitting at home idle. Or they're using it, but they're not using it to their full capability or their full capacity. So it's like their hands are withered. See, this one is deep. Because they can't provide for their family. So it's like they have a withered hand and they're trying to feed their family with a withered hand. And listen to the story. And they watched Jesus to see whether he would heal this man on the Sabbath day, that they may accuse him. So imagine that. They're watching Jesus to see if they're going to accuse this man, if they didn't want Jesus to help this man with the withered hand. And that's what a lot of people are going through. You got your own family members, the people on your job trying to keep you down. How you want to get mad at me because I want to get a house? Or because I want better myself? Or because I'm trying to help my family? How your own wife going to get mad at you for feeding your outside children? How is that possible? But that's happening every single day. So here it is. They're looking at Jesus again, angry at Jesus to see if he would help a man with a withered hand. That's how serious this one is. So someone is in pain, but you get other people who don't want them to get help. And that's what a lot of people are going through. I say, I'm doing this one for you. For all the people out there who feel that the politicians corrupt. And the reason why we in this mess is because they don't know what they're doing. They're only looking out for themselves. How do you see people with withered hand? The people you promise to protect and serve. You see them with the withered hands. And you don't want to help them. Or they feel like, you know what? All these corporations who lobby in the government to get lower taxes and to get exemptions, only increasing the prices. How do you see people with withered hands coming into your food store? And you're not making way or means to help them. You only worry about who thieving from you. You take a ride in a police car. That's what they say. So I'm doing it for you. And listen to the story. And Jesus said unto the man who had the withered hand, stand forth. See, that's what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to stand for something. You got to have heart. This too should pass. It's impossible for this world to break you. When greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. So you got to stand for something. And he said unto them, and listen to what God said. Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath days or to do evil? To save a life or to kill it? and they held their peace. So what God is saying is it lawful? Everything that's going on, is it lawful to do good or to do evil? What is God saying? God is saying if the gas prices are too high and people can't afford the gas prices, is it lawful to still tax gas? Is it a point to which you need to remove the tax off of gas? If the people are minimum wage and the minimum wage ain't moving up, is it lawful for you to now go increase NIB and the people barely can eat? That makes sense. So the people don't care. You have the leaders supposed to protect and serve. They don't care. They don't even understand the numbers. They need the IMF and different people to come in and tell them they're going bankrupt and NIB going bankrupt. You can't calculate that yourself. You don't know you taking out more than you putting in. You don't know the money that you borrowed you need to put back. Like, you don't get that? So what God is saying here is, it's your job to protect and serve. But yet here you are looking to accuse people. Is it lawful to do evil on the Sabbath day? Is your conscience clear? If you're a leader in this country, how your conscience going to be clear? And people can't eat. And you still taxing the people. You still taxing gas. You still taxing food. Bread basket items. You still taxing. So how your conscience clear? And that's what God is saying. You see, that's what the Sabbath day is. The Sabbath day is not a Saturday or a Sunday. That don't even make sense. Like, stop it. For all the 7-day Adventists there, stop it. The Jews, whoever, just stop it. I mean, what part are you going to say? Let me use common sense. If God said 1 day is like 1,000 days to me, then how the heck you going to calculate what day is the Sabbath day? Let's be smart about this. If 1 day is 1,000 years, and you try and tell me the Sabbath day fall on a Saturday, that doesn't even make sense. The Sabbath day is the day of rest, when you can sit down and be at peace knowing, you know what? I'm a government official. I'm the prime minister and I did my best to feed my people. And if you can't do that, then you're not a leader. That's why we leaderless. It ain't no prime minister in this country. See, I'm doing it for you. You can't get on TV and talk like this. We don't have a prime minister. We don't have leaders. We have people who look out for themselves because they don't get it. Celebrate the Sabbath day. Go to bed with a clear conscience. I did my best for these people. They hungry. And what do? You tax. That makes sense. You putting burdens on the people that you yourself don't carry. So let's go to work. So I take up my bags. Hey, I want my job today. I told you I was on my job today. All right. So now listen to this. Let's continue on. And when he had looked around above them, he was angry. Now, how often you hear Jesus be angry? So Jesus was angry at the people. Let me read that one again. That's the most important part of all of this. He was angry. Sometimes you got to get angry. How you going to celebrate the Sabbath day when the Sabbath day is a day of rest? A day of rest when your conscience is supposed to be clear. God said, I gave you everything in 6 days. So my conscience is clear. God said, I died on the cross for you. So now I can lay myself to rest because my conscience is clear. I can leave this earth. I can die today because I know I did everything for you to be saved. So now you're a leader. You're in a position of leadership. How your conscience going to be clear? And people out there hungry. And you get young men out there with withered hands. I mean, strong, healthy men out there can't work, can't use their hands for nothing because of the corruption. All right, let's go to work. And listen to this. And Jesus looked at them angry. He was grieved, just like how I'm angry now. I'm grieved at this. So Jesus is angry and he was grieved at the hardness of their hearts. And he said unto them, man, listen what he said to the man, stretch forth thy hand. And he stretched it out. And his hand was restored whole as with the other. And that's what Jesus is saying. But you have to stretch forth your hand. But not toward man, toward God. Stop playing. That's why I told you, don't use the Lord's name in vain. If you believe in that name, act like it. You stretch your hand toward the government looking for NIB. Or toward this one looking for a job. Or toward this politician. Or toward your family. Stretch it forth to God. That's up. Stretch your hand up to God. That's the only place you can stretch it. The people were looking at God, trying to see if he would help the people on the Sabbath. They say, you know what? This man have a withered hand, but God will break the law if he help these people. That's what's happening. It's a law. It's a law that they say, you know what? The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That's the law of the line. I'm working today. I told you I'm on my job today. So if that's the law, and they don't want you to be helped, they're not looking out for you. They don't care about you. They care about the next term. So they don't care about you. They have jobs for the next 4 years. So they don't care about you, but yet you stretching out your withered hand toward man, looking for something. You need to stretch it up top. You got to go to God with that. That's why we going to God with this. All right. And so God was angry at them. And he told the man, stretch forth your hand. Not toward man, toward me. See, God said, stretch it toward me. Give me the praise. Let me fix you. Now listen to this. And the Pharisees went forth. And straightway, listen to this, and straightway took counsel with the Herodians against Jesus on how they may kill Jesus. They wanted to kill him for that. They might want to kill me for this message because they say there ain't no prime minister. We don't have none. Ain't no prime minister, no leadership in this country. They can't stop me from saying it. Why? Because God is my king. What did the Bible say? The Bible told God told Samuel, they don't reject you, they reject me as king. I get one king. I get one leader. That's our Lord Jesus Christ. I don't bow down to no man. So I tell you the truth. When I come on the TV, I never lie to you. I never lie to you and say, you know what? It's a great prime. You got to be crazy. I go to God. To God be the glory. We ain't got no leader. Why? Because they think they have a clear conscience. They can sleep at night when people are hungry. When they taxing the people, when they overtaxing the people, they don't have enough common sense to understand what to do to fix the situation. I tell you the truth. So we have no leadership. That's why you stretch your hand out to God. That's the only one who can restore your hand. Now let's go to work. Now I got to bring it all home now because I talk too much. So listen to this. What's the most important part is why people don't celebrate the Sabbath. So let me help all the politicians out there. Let me help the prime minister. Because you should pray. You should go and pray for your leader. So let me help him now. And let me help you too. I already told you where to stretch your hand up. But let me help you. Listen to what God said. God said the Sabbath day is made for man and not man for the Sabbath. So what is God saying here? God is saying here, y'all got it backwards. You living backwards. You thinking backwards. The Sabbath is for man, not man for the Sabbath. Sabbath for man. So I got to break this one down. Not man for Sabbath. So what God is saying here is, your thinking is backwards. The Sabbath was made for man. So what exactly does that mean? It means if you're thinking backwards, you're living backwards. So let's talk to the politicians. The simple fact of the matter is, you serve the people. The people don't serve you. You get it? But because we living backwards in this country, we serving the politicians by making them rich. You get what I'm saying? And that's the problem. Everything we doing backwards. Let's go to work. Let me bring this one home. You talk to the women out there. The reason why you're emotionally depressed is because the children came before the marriage. Sex came before the ring. You see how that work? Because you living backwards, because you thinking backwards. So, if sex came before marriage, you gotta be stressed out with all them children because you a single parent. Come on, I told you I was in my bag. I'm going to work today. You gotta look at your own self. Let me talk to all the men. The older you get, the wiser you get. So how is it that you foolish enough to be 10 years in your marriage? You get a sweetheart. That don't even make no sense. That means the older you get, the more foolish you getting. Because you living in corruption. See, I'm going to work. What I'm trying to tell you is, the reason why people don't celebrate the Sabbath is because their thinking is backwards, so their living is backwards. I can continue on that all day. How is it that your sweetheart can have your wife name in her mouth? You gotta put some respect on that woman's name. You the one in adultery. You're the one in sin. I don't care if the wife crazy. You can't speak her name. How is it that a husband can allow a sweetheart to disrespect his wife? That don't make no sense, Bahamas, because you living backwards. So how is it now that a wife can have a mother's name? You can imagine my wife get my mommy name in her mouth. Child, please, I gotta repeat, my little girl, you gotta be crazy. Can't happen. That would be like the tail wagging the dog. Why? Because my mommy is my day one. You know what day one mean? My day one is the person, the day I was born. That's my day one. She was there. And I gotta let my wife disrespect her? That don't make no sense. The sweetheart can't talk about the wife. The wife can't talk about the mother. It's as simple as that. And guess what? I'm a man now. So the mother can't tell me how to live my life. You got to be a man. You can't walk around and your mom telling you everything what you got to do. You still living in your mom's house. How you sleeping at night? Your conscience got to be on you. How you going to be at rest? And the children can't get involved in adult affairs. It's as simple as that. Come on. So what am I saying? Let me wrap all this up. I said a lot. Let me wrap this one up before they throw me off. Before they throw me off the TV. Yeah, before they give me back my check and say, you know what? I don't care what you pay. Just get off this TV. So let me wrap all this one up. What I'm trying to say is this: the Sabbath day has nothing to do with the Saturday or Sunday, because God said 1,000 years is like a day to me. So it's impossible for you to tell me which day the Sabbath day is. The Sabbath day is a day of remembrance, where God said, remember everything I did for you. So I don't care how hard it is, Bahamas. I don't care how high the gas prices go. I don't care if you can't eat. What I'm trying to say is, I need you all to understand and remember. That's why God said, don't forget, never forget what God did for you. Remember that and keep it holy. How do you keep it holy? By keeping a clear conscience. By saying to yourself, the same way Jesus could die on the cross and he was at peace. He was at rest. Rest in peace on Good Friday. The way I keep it holy is by doing my best for these children, for doing my best for my family, for doing my best for my God. And that's how I can sleep at night. Why? Because one of the biggest issues is, I'm talking to the families now, you thinking backwards. That's why God said, the Sabbath for man, not man for the Sabbath. How are you thinking backwards? Because one of the biggest issues of marriages or relationships is money issues. How are you putting money before your marriage? No, your marriage before money. I don't care what situation we in. We're going to make it because we got Christ in the vessel so we can smile at the storm. So I don't care what the financial storm is. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I can wrap it up on that one. I've said enough. If y'all don't see me next Sunday, you know what. But here's the thing. We got to say the truth. I promise you, Muhammad, I'll always tell you the truth. And the truth is, there's a lot of people out there with withered hands, but you got to look to God. Stretch out your hand to God and fear no man. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.